Well, how's everybody doing? This is Tuesday, January 27th, and we are finished with Winter Storm Fern. Well, hopefully everybody fared well and is okay. And if you had any issues, hopefully you learned some things. Maybe there was something missing in your preps that you need to shore up a little bit. But we made it through. Now we got this bitter cold to deal with. And this is going to hang around for a while from what I'm seeing from the weather people. I know I'm not supposed to talk about the weather unless I'm a meteorologist. That's for my troll. Actually, our whole community has a troll. It's the same troll. We'll talk about that some other time. But anyway, so we got some serious cold coming our way that's going to stick around for at least a couple weeks. And I watched Ryan Hall earlier today. Check him out if you want to know what the weather's going to be like in and around the Ohio Valley, or anywhere for that matter. He does an excellent job, excellent job. And there may be another winter storm coming, but we're not going to talk about that because it's too early, too far out. They don't know where it's going to hit, so we'll worry about that later on in the week. But just some things to know that may affect you in the Ohio Valley here, now that we're done with the storm. And it's really, really cold. Don't forget, whatever you do, don't go out and warm up your vehicle and let it sit unattended, or you will get a ticket. They're having a field day with that law around here in my little area here recently. Now, if you're not from Ohio and you just heard that and you went, what are you talking about? Well, in Ohio we have a law. It's called the puffing law. I don't know where they got the name. And you can look it up if you want to. But you are not allowed to go out and start your vehicle and leave it unattended. Now, the state law says that you can't do it on any public roadway or public area. But each municipality has their own little tweaks to it. In my area, you can't even do it in your own private driveway. Now, like I said, that's a place-to-place thing. You'd have to see what it is in your area. But, yeah, you're not allowed to do that because being warm's a crime. No, that's not it. Well, anyway. And this law all came into effect because somebody's little kid, undisciplined little kid, decided to jump into somebody's vehicle years ago. I don't remember how long. This has been in effect for, I'm going to say 10 years, 8 years. I don't know. It's been a while. And drive off in their car. So, plus they also say it's very bad for the environment because being warm and cow farts are killing the earth. Just don't get me started. Anyway, so that's one thing to keep in mind. You're allowed to warm up your car if you're sitting in it. The state law says you can do it if it's on your private property, like in your driveway, or if it's locked. Again, you'd have to look up, each municipality has made their own little tweaks to it, so you'd have to look up exactly what it is in your area. I don't know if we're allowed to do it if it's locked in my area, but I know even on your driveway it's prohibited, so might have to look up the lock thing, I don't know. So, what else we got going? Well, again, some places, like my little area, you have to move your car if it's on a public road every 48 hours. So they're having a field day with this too. They're running around giving people tickets because their cars ain't moved for 48 hours because they're gone. I mean, if there's not a side mirror sticking out of the snow, you don't even know there's a car there. They're buried completely over top from the snow plows and stuff. So now they're telling these elderly people, they love elderly people, they love to do this to them because they don't have the ability to go out and dig out their car. This is just further, well, anyway, we'll tell you the other story before we do this. So a lot of counties here in Ohio are under what we call a level 3 snow emergency. Some of them are still under that, even though it's been a couple of days. Now, if you're not familiar with that, if you're not from Ohio and you don't know what that means that you're not allowed on the roads unless you're an emergency vehicle. So fire, police, ambulance, emergency vehicles. There are a few companies that's got an exemptions from that. At least there's one in my area. And now my little county, we've been under a level 0 the entire time. We don't do level 3 or level anything, snow emergencies. Because years ago, and I don't know exactly when this happened, and unfortunately the companies that did this, they kept the records private, so I tried to dig into it and find out who it was, but I can't. But threatened to sue the county if they issued a level 3 snow emergency. Because if they did that, then their employees, it would be illegal for their employees to actually go to work the next day, because you're not allowed on the roads unless you're an emergency vehicle. So, and you know the companies that tell you, you know, we're all family and you know, we care about you guys and that. However, you know, if the roads are too bad to travel on and you die on the way to work, that's okay as long as you're actually coming in. Oh, you just gotta love it. Like I said, this is just further proof that our country, even down to the local level, is run by corporations. If you think that the government, even your local government, city council, etc., is actually running anything, they're not. They're the mouthpiece. Okay, the corporations are telling them do this, do this, do this, and then they're telling you what they're going to do. This is why I don't vote. Now some of you are going to say, "Oh, OVP, you should vote. You should, you know, your vote counts." Listen, I don't believe that our vote counts for anything. I think the people in office were put there by the powers that be, mostly big corporations and, you know, the wealthy. And they probably know who the next 4 or 5 presidents are going to be. It's probably already a done deal. Now they're going to do all this campaigning and all this crap. But anyway. So that's just a little update on what's going on here in Ohio. Like I said, it's going to stay cold for, according to Ryan Hall, at least a couple weeks. Well, his actual words were for the Ohio Valley, there's no end in sight right now. Boy, I'm ready for spring. Whew. I do not like the cold. I'm nice and toasty right now, but that's because I dress for it. Which I need to do a video on how to dress for the cold, especially if you're going to be out working in it, shoveling snow, etc. Which I got some things I'm working on. Time, you know, especially with this snowstorm, digging other people out, and I've done more shoveling than I ever want to do again. I'm getting too old for this. So anyway, I hope everybody was safe. Hope everybody come out of it okay. If nothing else, I hope you learned some things, that maybe there's some holes in your prep that you went, hey, you know, I really could have used another heater, or some old blankets, or whatever, some extra water. There's going to be a lot of people with frozen water pipes the next couple of weeks from the sound of things. So if you don't have what you feel is enough extra water on hand, go get some more, because they're talking possible 30 belows next week. Oh, miserable. I'm not looking forward to it, but so make sure you're ready for that. Not that I'll ever be ready for that, but hey, we'll deal with it. We'll get through it. Ain't gonna be fun. Boy, spring can't come. I'm gonna be so glad to see like a 60-degree day. It ain't gonna be funny. I will probably call off work and just go out and sit in the sun and enjoy myself. I think I got a little bit of cabin fever going on. So anyway, yeah. Remember about the puffing laws. Like I said, you can look that up if you want. I would look it up because, like I said, it varies from place to place. So see what is okay in your area, so you don't get a ticket for not freezing to death. Which, you know, hey, whatever. But like I said, for a red state, we got some laws here in Ohio that would make you think otherwise. So stay safe, everybody. Stay warm. I have very limited heat where I work, so I'm pretty much dressed for being outside, basically. I mean, I could walk home in what I'm wearing, maybe with a couple other things that I keep in my bag. This is my little work bag. Oh, you can't see that. Okay, my little little work bag that I take with me that's all mostly lunch and coffee and pop and things like that, Skull. But I keep a few extra things in there in case I gotta trot my way home, which hopefully never happens. But hey, you never know. So, be safe, everybody. Thanks for stopping by. Check out those laws so you know what's okay in your area. Stay warm. We'll see you all on the next time. OBP out.